Hi, guess what? Is it cheaper to develop a blended course design or to develop a conventional course? After watching this video, you can explain the cost mechanic of blended courses versus online or face-to-face courses. You can explain the different views of the stakeholders. Finally, you can use a calculation model to estimate the cost of your specific blended course. This presentation is based on the following books. What is the cost of a blended course? Here is the first attempt to answer these core questions. It depends. It costs always more than you expect. The Vice President for Distance Learning at the University of Phoenix explains, the most common myth is significant costs can be saved. The Director of Instructional Technology Programs at Sacramento County supports him by saying, the greatest single myth of distance learning is that it's less expensive. It's not very helpful, what they say, but it's interesting. Let's take a closer look at some details and ask some further questions. What do you mean by blended course? What do I mean by cost? Money, time, learning effort, ecological impact? What is your time horizon? One course, a sequence of courses, medium, long term? Who asks? A student, the course provider, a politician? I have to identify cost elements for different perspectives, such as students, the course provider, etc., and identify the respective cost elements. What are, for instance, the cost elements in the eyes of a student? Well, he will be interested in the price of the course. He will have to consider travel and overnight stay expenses, loss of working hours, but he will most probably be interested in the convenience of learning arrangement, flexibility, accessibility. What are the cost elements for a course provider? Well, the development of the course. Do I make it or do I buy it? Personnel for learning support, overhead costs for classroom, infrastructure, etc. He will be interested in what price he can charge. Often it is the same as in conventional courses, but the trend now with the free MOOC courses is different. What are the cost elements seen by the employer of a student? He will also be interested in the price of the course, travel and overnight stay expenses, and most importantly, the loss of working hours. In what aspects would politicians be interested, considering the cost for training for the society as a whole? Well, cost per student on a certain degree. He will be interested in ecological costs. If he can avoid transport at crucial rush hour time, he will be very interested. It's very easy to overlook cost factors. If you want to evaluate the cost of a course, consider the following aspects. In the pre-production phase, market study, infrastructure. In the production, consultants, subject matter specialists, media specialists, software, hardware. In the post-production, evaluation, delivery, student support, tutors, help desks. The infrastructure, learning management system, synchronous communication platform, classrooms. Then you have to consider overhead costs, management and administration. And then, most importantly, the hidden costs. Costs that are always forgotten. Travel, loss of working hours. It's crucial to decide whether to look at a single course, or a series of courses. In one example, a specific study, we realized that hidden costs can change the picture altogether. An estimation of the cost of a face-to-face course came to an amount of £4,500. A similar online course was £21,800. If you, however, consider the hidden costs, which are much higher in a face-to-face course, the picture is totally different. Also, you have to consider it depends very much on what kind of media you use or the delivery format you choose. If you want to prepare 1 hour of learning in a face-to-face lesson, it takes about 1 to 10 hours preparation. If you, however, prepare this for a computer-based training for soft skills, it will take you 20 to 100 hours. That means there are recommended strategies. Distribute costs on as many courses and students as possible. Replace expensive face-to-face lessons with guided self-study. Develop wraparound courses on existing material rather than producing a course from scratch. Very often, students will choose a blended learning course not out of monetary reasons, but they are looking for flexibility, especially adult learners. They enjoy a combination of different modes of learning. They appreciate a careful learner support. And as it is often, time is money. The main factor is cost is time. An optimal blend of different delivery modes can result in a better cost effectiveness. If you have a look at the face-to-face course, the development cost is relatively low, but the delivery cost is high. In online courses, it's different. The development cost is generally high, the delivery cost is cheaper. Now, if you can combine these two modes, you can produce a blended learning course which is even more cost effective. Now let's look at our calculation model. Working with the calculation model allows you to get a feeling for the cost mechanics. Get the spreadsheet and play with the model. The simulation may not give you accurate predictions, but playing with the model will develop an awareness what factors are crucial. You must always question your assumptions because the assumptions will define the result. As I said, results are not meant to be absolutely accurate. They are, however, a good starting point for discussions. You may vary the input values, or you may also fine-tune the calculation model. The last sheet informs you about the background of the calculation. Let's add a last word. Cost is just one factor in your decision to choose blended course mode. But it's good to know on what elements to keep an eye on. So thank you very much for your attention. Bye-bye.